Mr. President, I am happy to inform you that the 49th annual commencement exercises of Yeshiva University The candidates for degrees will rise as the deans and directors present the various schools, and all will remain standing until the president has conferred the degrees upon them. The graduates of each school will be represented by a member of the class who will receive a symbolic diploma on their behalf. All undergraduate degrees will be conferred by the president with one proclamation. Degrees in course, the undergraduate schools, James Stryer School of General Jewish Studies. These candidates will be presented by Rabbi Morris J. Besdin, the director. Will the candidates please rise?
Mr. President, I have the honor of informing you that 46 students have completed the required course of study for the Associated Arts degree at the James Stryer School. These students, who have taken a comprehensive program of basic Jewish studies, have earned the approbation of the faculty, and I respectfully request that this degree be awarded to them. I am pleased to call on Mr. Joel Yaakiv to represent the class.
Teachers Institute for Women. Candidates will be presented by Dr. Walter Orenstein, Chairman of the faculty.
President, I have the honor to present to you 12 students who have completed the required course of study for the Hebrew Teacher's Diploma, and 2 who have completed the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Education. I respectfully request that this diploma be awarded to them and that this degree be conferred upon them. I am pleased to call on Ms. Afra Ben-Ari to represent the class.
Congratulations.
The Erna Michael College of Hebraic Studies. Candidates will be presented by Dean Yaakiv Rabinowitz.
Nine students have completed the requirements for the Hebraic Studies Diploma, 6 for a Hebrew Teacher's Diploma. 2 students have completed the requirements for a Bachelor of Science degree, and 4 for a Bachelor of Arts degree. Mr. President, the faculty of Erna Michael College has asked me to request that you award these diplomas and confer these degrees. I am very pleased to call upon Mr. J. Dolitsky to represent the class.
The Stern College for Women. Candidates will be presented by Dean Karen Bacon.
Mr. President, I am pleased to present to you 123 women who have successfully completed the curriculum for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, 14 who have completed a course of study leading to a Jewish Studies certificate, and 8 who have earned a Hebrew Teacher's Diploma. On behalf of the faculty of Stern College, I respectfully request that you award these degrees and diplomas. I am most pleased to call on Miss Bessie Monshine to represent the class.
Yeshiva College. Acting Dean Michael Hecht will present the candidates.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you 181 students who have completed the required course of study for the degree of Bachelor of Arts at Yeshiva College. They have earned the approbation of the faculty, and I respectfully request that this degree be conferred upon them. I am pleased to call on Mr. Mark Sneyer to represent the class.
You have successfully completed the requirements for diplomas and degrees as prescribed by the Faculty of Arts and Sciences of the undergraduate schools of Yeshiva University. By virtue of the authority vested in me as president of Yeshiva University, I hereby award you your diplomas and confer upon you the respective degrees with all the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining thereto. As a token of this award, each dean and director will hand a diploma to the class representative. Which I already did.
The tassel ceremony. Undergraduates receiving a bachelor's degree for the first time will now move the tassels on their caps from right to left. And now the undergraduates will be seated. We'll now turn to the graduate schools. The Wurzweiler School of Social Work. Candidates will be presented by Dean Lloyd Setley. Will the candidates please rise, which you have done.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you here today 175 students who have completed the requisite course of study for the degree of Master of Social Work at Wurzweiler School of Social Work and 5 for the degree of Doctor of Social Welfare. I'm also pleased to inform you that on Friday, August 1st, an additional 55 students will have qualified for the degree of Master of Social Work through the block education program. 20 postmaster's certificates in gerontology were awarded at separate commencements May 13th and June 3rd. All these students have earned the approbation of the faculty. I respectfully request that these degrees be conferred upon them. I am pleased to call on Ms. Kim Langweiler to represent the class.
The Belfer Graduate School of Science. Candidates will be presented by University Dean of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, Dr. Ernest Lobel.
Mr. President, I'm happy to present to you 2 candidates who have completed the requisite course of study for the degree of Master of Arts at the Belfer Graduate School of Science and 3 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I respectfully request that you confer these degrees upon them. I am pleased to call on Mr. Arthur Goodman to represent the class. Give it to him later on. Congratulations.
The Furkhouse Graduate School. Candidates will be presented by Dean Morton Berger. Will all the candidates please remain standing? The Wurzweiler group, the Belfer group, and now the Furkhouse group. Thank you.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you a group of students from Furkhouse Graduate School who are candidates for the following degrees: 32 for the Master of Science degree, 12 for the Master of Arts degree, 11 for the Specialist Certificate, 12 for the Doctor of Education degree, and 58 for the Doctor of Philosophy degree. These candidates have completed all degree requirements and have been approved for the degrees by the faculty and the appropriate administrative officers of the Kaufeld Graduate School. In view of these facts, I respectfully request that you confer these degrees upon them. I am pleased to call on Karen Singer Averick to represent the class.
Albert Einstein College of Medicine, Dean Ephraim Friedman.
President, I have the honor to announce that 159 students have completed the required course of study for the degree of Doctor of Medicine at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. 19 have completed their studies leading to the Doctor of Philosophy degree at the Golding Graduate Division of Medical Sciences, and 52 have earned a certificate from the Belfer Institute for Advanced Biomedical Studies. The degrees were awarded at separate commencement exercises held Thursday, June 5th. A representative of the class is present here today, Dr. Benjamin Arbesfeld. I respectfully request that on this occasion we confirm the action taken then.
Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law, Dean Monrad Paulson.
Mr. President, I have the honor to announce that 273 students have completed the required course of study for the Doctor of Law at Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law. The degrees will be awarded at a separate commencement exercise to be held on Sunday, June 15th. I am pleased to call on Ms. Noel Ferris to represent the class.
The Bernard Revel Graduate School. The candidates will be presented by Dean Sid Z. Lyman.
I have the honor of presenting 22 candidates for the degree of Master of Science at Bernard Revel Graduate School. For the degree of Master of Arts, I present 10 candidates who have completed their course of study and have written master's projects. 3 students have completed their requirements for the Doctor of Philosophy degree and have successfully defended their dissertations. Mr. President, I respectfully request that these degrees be conferred. I am pleased to call on Mrs. Rachel Ebner and her husband, Rabbi David Ebner, both of whom are earning degrees today. They will represent the class.
You have successfully completed the requirements for degrees as prescribed by the faculties of the graduate schools of Yeshiva University. By virtue of the authority vested in me as president of Yeshiva University, I hereby confer upon you the respective degrees with all the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining thereto. As a token of this award, each dean will hand the diploma to the class representative.
We will now have the hooding ceremony. Will each degree recipient now place over his or her shoulders the hood representing the graduate degree. If you get that done properly, then you really earned the degree. And now I think everyone would probably join me in mutual congratulations. Please be seated. Please be seated.
You're not going any place.
It is customary at these exercises to announce the changes which have taken place in the university family during the past year. Beginning on a pleasant note, let us extend heartiest congratulations to these newcomers. Dr. Carol G. Hussey, first director of the nursing program at Stern College for Women, Dr. Ernest Lobel, University Dean of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, Mr. Walter Plotch, Director of Development, Dr. Rosalind Sussman Yallow, Nobel Laureate and Honorary Alumna, appointed University Distinguished. To you and all the others who have joined us this year, we hope this marks the beginning of a long and happy association with Yeshiva University, productive, satisfying, and fulfilling in every way. This June also marks the retirement of several beloved faculty members and other university employees in view of their dedicated service to the institution and to our students. We wish to take this opportunity to single out the following. Dr. Michael Bernstein, Professor of Bible. Dr. Noah Rosenblum, Professor of Hebraic Studies. Rabbi Abraham Shkup, Instructor in Bible. Dr. Nathan Stillman, Professor of Education. Dr. Bluma Weiner, Professor of Special Education and longtime Senior Marshal at these commencement proceedings. Many secretaries have earned a special niche in the lives of our students. Perhaps none so completely as Mrs. Frances Stripe of the James Dreyer School of General Jewish Studies. After 16 years of helping and guiding these undergraduates, she's also retiring this June. To all of you go our fondest wishes for a happy and healthy life and enjoyment in all of your future pursuits. The past year has seen the passing of many beloved members of our yeshiva family, especially those who have served the university on its board. We note with sadness the deaths of Mr. David Aronow, a member of the Board of Trustees for more than 20 years, Mr. Max Baer, former Residence Hall Director, Mr. Max L. Friedman, a member of the Albert Einstein College of Medicine Board of Overseers, who was awarded a YU honorary degree in 1964, Mr. Horace W. Goldsmith, honorary ACOM Overseer, who received the honorary degree in 68, Mr. Benjamin Gottesman, longest surviving member of the Board of Trustees, who headed the Yeshiva Endowment Foundation and was the benefactor of the Mendel Gottesman Library. He received an honorary degree in 59. Dr. Sidney B. Honig, Professor Emeritus of Jewish History, who was associated with the university for over 40 years and served as the Dean Pinchas Corrigan Professor of the Bernard Revel Graduate School. He was awarded an honorary doctorate, a Doctor of Hebrew Letters, in 75. Rabbi Israel Clavin, an alumnus of Yeshiva College in Reach, who served as Executive Vice President of the Rabbinical Council of America and was twice honored at these commencement exercises for an honorary degree in 1970 and the Mordecai Ben David Award in 1974. Dr. Joseph H. Luckstein, an honorary trustee and university professor of homiletics, associated with the institution for over half a century, who also served as a member of the Yeshiva Rabbeinu Yitzchak Elchanan board. He received an honorary Doctor of Divinity degree in 1949. Mr. Nathan Maidenbaum, a member of the Reach Board, who was a regular and enthusiastic participant at the university's commencement over the years. Mr. Jacob Michael, a YU trustee, whose contributions made possible the establishment of the Erna Michael College of Hebraic Studies and the Jacob and Erna Michael Institute for Biomedical Research at the Medical College. he received an honorary degree in '67. Miss Cecilia Morgenstern, who with her late husband dedicated the Celia and Morris Morgenstern Residence Hall. Dr. Helmut Nathan, Professor Emeritus of Surgery and Anatomy at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. Mr. Joel Sternthal, former president for over 30 years of the Canadian Friends of YU, and Dr. Abraham White, Professor Emeritus of Biochemistry at ACOM, who received an honorary degree in 1959. Their memories and achievements will long be remembered not only by those who worked with them, but by all of us who knew of their accomplishments. Zichronam Livracha. On a happier note, we are pleased to acknowledge the following alumni anniversary being marked today. The class of 1955 of Yeshiva College, marking its 25th anniversary. We ask the representatives of this class to rise with the alumni leaders to note the occasion. It is a Yeshiva University tradition to salute the outstanding undergraduates at the senior dinner, which was held last night, traditionally the night before commencement. Last evening, the 5 valedictorians and recipients of prizes were accorded honors by their peers and other members of the undergraduate family. These honorees are listed in your program, but we would like to ask the 5 valedictorians to rise when their name is called so that we may pay them a collective tribute. Shalom Tversky, James Stryer School of General Studies. Mira Morgenstern, Teachers Institute for Women. Fred Grunside, Erna Michael College of Hebraic Studies. Barbara Michael, Stern College for Women. And Louis Gnuth, Yeshiva College. Let's give these special young men and women a round of applause. And extend to them our heartfelt wishes for continued success and fulfillment in all their future endeavors. A year ago, these ceremonies were overcast by the brutal and tragic death of Stephen Gladstein, alav shalom, a senior in the Yeshiva College class of 1979. While there can never be a replacement for a human life, the spirit and memory of Stephen's youthful exuberance and scholarly achievements will forever be part of his legacy to his school. In his honor, the Student Council of Yeshiva College earlier this year announced the establishment of the Stephen Gladstein Memorial Fund, which will award an annual prize for excellence in communal service. We are also proud to announce that the college is today conferring a posthumous Bachelor of Arts degree upon Stephen Gladstein. Last but not least, let us take a moment to pay special tribute to a special group of people, to you parents who made all of this possible. I know that your sons and daughters join with me in this special round of applause. Thank you.
You know, sometimes when someone is as well known and well loved as our senior vice president, you expect that the whole world knows who he is, and I made that mistake. So let me now introduce the man who has been addressing you, Dr. Israel Miller. There will now be some special presentations. The Mordecai Ben David Award. This presentation will be made to Dr. Abraham Katz by Dr. Leo Jung, Professor Emeritus of Ethics and Chairman of the Mordecai Ben David Award Committee.
In 1940, Ambassador Enrico Garda, a major benefactor of our institution, established the Mordecai Ben David Prize to be awarded annually to that graduate of Yeshiva College or any other member of our folk who, in the opinion of the award committee, had made a major contribution to the encouragement of Jewish self-respect, courage, and pride in Israel, faith, folk, and land, and in addition to that, fervent patriotism to the United States of America. It has been our privilege in the past to offer prizes to the parents of the first Jewish soldier who died at Pearl Harbor, to Dr. Isaac Herzog, the sainted chief rabbi of Israel, who at the peril of his life rescued 500 Jewish orphans from the Holocaust, to the head of the Joint Distribution Committee's cultural work, Maurice Levitt, to the medical geniuses of Schick, Sabin, and Salt, to the sainted Israel Clavin, the ideal rabbi, and Lehavdil Ben Chaim Lechaim, to Alvin Schiff, the noble educator. This year's choice has been Dr. Abraham Katz, college president, professor, founder of literature, scholars and colleges, students and teachers on 4 continents have praised his work, how he managed to convey the genuine meaning of misunderstood passages in Geniza literature, and how, for all his glorious work, he has received the significant approval of American government and nation. From Soviet Russia through Italy, from theological seminaries to universities, to private libraries, to indefatigable endeavor, Dr. Katz has produced a series, a harvest, which for many decades will challenge the academic fervor and effort of great scholars. It is a source of joy and pride for me to present you, Dr. Katz, oder Vorrat Rabinowitz Award, where came before grant you many years of good health and joy to continue your blessed work.
We come now to the conferring of honorary degrees. Rabbi William Cohen.
Mr. President, at our side stands a beloved friend and colleague who shares our love and reverence for Yeshiva University in being and in concept. May I present Rabbi William Cohen of West Hartford, Connecticut, for the degree of Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa.
Distinguished spiritual leader, educator, and mentor. For nearly 4 decades, you have ministered to the needs of your congregants with fidelity, foresight, and friendship. In all your endeavors, particularly during your 34-year tenure as Rabbi of Beth David Synagogue in Hartford, Connecticut, you have truly epitomized the concept of service to the nation and to the Jewish community that was nurtured during your student days here. You have endeared yourself to the people of your own community with your care, your concern, and your compassion. Only recently, one of your people wrote to us saying, "He has made a huge and wonderful difference in our lives. He seeks to mend and repair broken things in the world. Only an unusual rabbi earns such encomium. Moreover, you have touched the lives of multitudes through your many organizational and communal activities. As a Hillel director and as a member of the faculty of the Hebrew College of Boston, you have left an indelible imprint upon future generations. As vice president of the rabbinic alumni of Rabbi Isaac Elchanan Theological Seminary, and by your manifold examples of leadership, you have been a supreme source of encouragement and inspiration to your alma mater as well. You are clearly worthy of recognition and affection by your peers and by the school which educated you. It is my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa, and in token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma.
Chaim Grade.
Mr. President, the eminent artist of the word who honors us with his presence belongs at and to Yeshiva. In Mamaloshen, he has painted a literary portrait of our spiritual and historical ancestral home, the Yeshiva, as the Chazon, the vision of a gifted man. May I present Dr. Chaim Grade for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Beloved Yiddish poet and novelist, whose works have illuminated and preserved the glorious and complex life of the Jewish world of Vilna in the 1920s and 30s. Your creative imagination and facile pen have preserved the nuances of the whole spectrum of Jewish life that the Nazis destroyed. In your writings, Vilna, the Yerushalayim Delita, lives again. As a modern Maggid of Yiddish, in all your works you have displayed profound concern for Jews and their individual human struggles. You belong to that elite group of writers
whose art is national in that it touches every fiber, religious, historical, societal, folkloristic, of a complete civilization. At a time when literature, even Yiddish literature, often wallows in the mud of cynicism and frivolity, in the scatological swamp of amorality, when it heralds the fascination with the demonic and with sexual weirdness, you and your work celebrate man's efforts to overpower his own penchant for pettiness, to derive some ennoblement from his inner struggles and external conflicts, and above all, to embark upon the adventure of a metaphysical quest. In a word, you have remained Jewish and human at the same time. In honoring you, we pay tribute not only to you as an individual artist, but to the world, both particular and universal, that your works evoke and invoke, and to the medium that is yours, the Yiddish language, a language created by our people and which reflects its soul and its spirit. It is my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. In token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma.
Mr. Marcus D. Katz.
Mr. President, benefactions are associated with blessings in the life and distinguished career of the lover of Torah, Israel, and our people, whom we now honor. May I present Mr. Marcus D. Katz of Mexico, a benefactor of Yeshiva, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Industrialist and communal leader, with noble selflessness, you have dedicated your life to upholding and strengthening the sacred principles of your and our tradition, from your birthplace in Krakow, Poland, to your youthful stay in Tel Aviv, to your present home in Mexico City. In every aspect of your career, you have devoted your multifaceted talents to strengthening educational and commercial ties between Mexico and Israel. With zeal and consummate skill, you have harnessed the same ambition, talent, and insight that have propelled you to success in your worldly endeavors to enhance your far-sighted communal undertakings on behalf of your people and your faith. You have truly been a Katz, Cohen Tzedek, a righteous priest. Ki siftei Cohen yishmeru da'at. The lips of the priest keep knowledge, said the prophet Malachi. You have sought always to advance knowledge. Despite your far-flung industrial enterprises and your varied communal responsibilities, you somehow found the time to study law, and only last year earned your degree, an inspiration to busy men and women everywhere. By advancing postgraduate Talmudic study at REIT, you have aided immeasurably in changing the approaches of students and researchers to practical halakha. In endowing our Kollel program, and through your sponsorship of Pras Katz in Israel, you have contributed to making a way of life based upon Torah the norm for countless thousands in the United States, Israel, Latin America, and many other parts of the world. We salute your remarkable record of achievement as a man of thought and action, of study and practice, of interest both local and global, commercial and cultural. It is my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and in token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma.
Mr. Aryeh L. Dolson.
Mr. President, the mantle of leadership in the world Jewish community rests with grace upon the leonine shoulders of the wise, compassionate, skilled, and tireless Zionist, warm personal friend and friend of Yeshiva, whom we are privileged to honor this day. May I present Mr. Aryeh Leon Dolchin, a proud citizen of Israel, chairman of the executive of the World Zionist Organization and of the Jewish Agency, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
You are an outstanding Jewish communal leader, with the zeal of the visionary, tempered by the realism of the pragmatist. You have assumed an historic role in directing the immigration, absorption, and resettlement of countless thousands of our fellow Jews in the state of Israel. Your life epitomizes the story of millions of our brethren who fled from tyranny and oppression throughout the globe and opted for Aliyah to build and strengthen the renascent Jewish state within the borders of our ancestral homeland, Eretz Yisrael. You wandered throughout the diaspora, from your native Minsk in Russia to a temporary sojourn in Mexico, where the mantle of Zionist leadership fell on your shoulders beginning at the age of 18, when you represented your country with distinction at international gatherings. But Israel beckoned you to come home, and for a quarter of a century, you have been in the forefront of that nation's executive elite, serving in a cabinet post in the government, and now as chairman of the World Zionist Organization and the Jewish Agency. With all your preoccupation with political sovereignty and the return to the homeland of widespread Jewish communities, you have been sensitive to our people's spiritual heritage and to the values of Jewish education. We salute your distinguished leadership of the Jewish people in an eminent career in which you have conceived and directed worldwide programs for the ingathering of the exiles, which keep alive the biblical promise of ultimate redemption. It is therefore my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. In token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma.
מוריי ורבותיי, בקרב לב נתונה לכם תודתי הכנה על שמצאתם לנכון להכתירני בתואר דוקטור של כבוד של מוסדכם הנכבד. אני רואה בכך ביטוי לברית הכרותה בין יהודי אמריקה למדינת ישראל ולרעיון הציוני, ברית אשר לא תופר לעולם. כיושב ראש ההסתדרות הציונית והסוכנות היהודית, זכות מיוחדת היא לי לשאת בתואר זה ולהצטרף לחבורה נכבדה של אישים מישראל ומהתפוצות הנושאים גם הם בתואר כבוד מטעם ישיבה ואוניברסיטה. התואר הוא לי מבחינת אצילות מחייבת, ואני מבטיחכם בזה להמשיך ולפעול להידוק הקשרים והחישוקים בני עמנו בין בני עמנו באשר הם שם לבין מדינת ישראל. President Lamb, Rabbi Miller, distinguished guests, graduates and friends, I am delighted to be here with you. Your splendid Yeshiva University is the former source of American Jewish College Youth Aliyah to Israel. It is personally gratifying to me to pay tribute to this university and its students and alumni, 1/10 of whom live in Israel, where they are a bulwark of Judaism and Jewish education. They have set an inspiring example for American Jewish college graduates to follow in maintaining and enhancing Judaism, Jewish civilization and culture. They understand that the relationship of the American Jewish community to Israel is not only determined by their political and financial support, but history. You know how tenaciously through the centuries of exile, Jewish hearts were everlastingly rooted in their distant homeland. Zionism was the constant and profound expression of our people in the diaspora, in prayer, in song, in literature of their heartfelt yearning, in love and veneration for Zion, Eretz Israel, their home. Yeshiva students know that our yearning to return to our ancient homeland was to practice our traditional faith free of oppression and prejudice, to renew our old age culture, to control in our own democracy, our own faith as a people, and to achieve a cultural, educational, and national renaissance. You have been educated to meet the challenge of our youth in their search for a personal faith and commitment to a meaningful cause. You can help them discover that Judaism and Zion's ethnical qualities and principles can fulfill their quest. You can help our young generation build a Jewish life which has personal significance and fulfillment. You know that Jewish education in Israel are bulwarks against assimilation. Jewish education has a special aim and purpose, the personal affirmation of our Jewish identity. You, the Yeshiva graduate of 1980, will take your place as leader of the Jewish people. You understand that the meaning of Israel is its centrality in the continuity and enhancement of a vibrant Jewish existence. For Israel not only exists for itself, it exists for the totality of the Jewish people wherever they are. We share a common destiny, the destiny and faith of our people. Your American presence in Eretz Israel is a manifestation to Israel and to the rest of the world of the solidarity of American Jewish support. We live, my dear friends, in a heroic age. Other people would have become despondent after the Holocaust, after the destruction of a third of its members. They would have simply withered. But Judaism and the Jews accelerated and deepened the redemptive process that had been dormant, so that never before have we known such a period of creativity in all fields, in Israel and in the diaspora. In these United States, there has never been so much Jewish strength as today, but neither have there been such inroads caused by assimilation and apathy. In this situation, you represent a seminal educational force in enriching the fabric of Jewish life, here as well as in Israel. You will help assure the proper response to Jewish religious needs in the diaspora and in Israel. You will help develop the resources for the needed programs of Jewish education and culture. It is in your increasing numbers that you can make a difference in Israel as citizens and educators in maintaining and enhancing Judaism, Jewish civilization, Jewish culture, and the ideals of our prophets in the everyday life of our people, but here and in our homeland. Homeland which is the home of the Jewish people in its totality. Historically, the Pesgola can be compared with a luxury hotel, but still it is only a way station. It cannot replace a home. Equally, a Zionism which does not attempt to change and improve the condition of Jewish life, to deepen the Jewish roots, values, prophetic principle and consciousness would endanger the future of Jewish existence. For the true meaning of Zionism is to secure the creative future of the Jewish people and the state of Israel. Now that there is an opening to peace, the security and the well-being of Israel will not be determined only by the best of frontiers. Our tactical and strategic depth is a function of the number of Jews who will live in Israel. Our strength lies not only in territory or boundaries, it lies in a massive Jewish population. That and the quality of Jewish life that will evolve in Israel will decide how safe we are. The unity of the Jewish people, therefore, here in Israel is more urgent today than ever. To be a Zionist is to be concerned not only with Chayei Shah, but also with Chayei Olam. Chayei Shah is the daily concern for existential needs. Chayei Olam is the overall concern for the future of the Jewish people. A vital Zionist and Jewish agenda for the 80s includes three essential and related areas: a continuous and intensive Aliyah movement; 2, a meaningful breakthrough in Jewish education, both in Israel and in the diaspora; 3, constant concern and activity to enhance the quality of Jewish life in Israel and in the diaspora. There is thus a three-way bond between the striving for Aliyah, Jewish education, and the quality of Jewish life. Each of you graduating today has the opportunity and the challenge to achieve nobly in your lifetime. I welcome you to accept that challenge as front-line pioneers for Judaism and its values and ideals, and for Eretz Israel. Today, we rejoice in the basic strength and vitality of the third Jewish Commonwealth, the State of Israel. Today, we rejoice in the creative vigor of a Jewish diaspora committed to Jewish peoplehood. Let us, therefore, dedicate ourselves, you in your communities and we in Israel, to our common task, our common responsibilities. We have a message, not only for Jews, but for mankind, a message rooted in our tradition and exemplified in the achievements of Zionism, the great national and moral revolution of our times. Let us write new history, the history of the Jewish people, moving forward as one to a great destiny. I thank you.
The Honorable Abraham D. Sophia.
Mr. President, Yeshiva's alumni have recorded an enviable record of achievement in many fields of endeavor. We honor this day one of those alumni of Yeshiva who but 18 years ago on this very campus received the B.A. degree magna cum laude. May I present that young and brilliant scholar of the law, the United States District Judge, Southern District of New York, Professor Abraham D. Sophia, for the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Distinguished jurist, educator, and cherished alumnus, despite your comparative youth, you have compiled a remarkable record of achievement in your chosen field. Your future fame was heralded when you were graduated with high honors from Yeshiva College and James Dreyer School, and subsequently were designated as the outstanding graduate of New York University School of Law. For more than a decade, you served with distinction as a professor of law at Columbia University, inspiring your students to achieve their maximum potential. Your prolific scholarly writings have stamped you as a burgeoning scholar of growing import. How felicitous that your very name, Sophia, is the Hebrew for the word scribe or writer. It is with considerable pride that Yeshiva University bestows this honor upon you, for in your sensitive and prescient judicial rulings, you reflect the noblest principles of both the best of Western culture and of our rich and enduring Jewish heritage. As you have readily acknowledged, our institution has, in important measure, influence the formation of your values and perceptions. It is my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. In token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma.
They're all telling me to be short. President Lamb, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I gratefully accept the honor bestowed today. This is my alma mater. To be honored here means a great deal to me. I am especially grateful for President Lamb's request that I speak briefly. The assignment gives me an opportunity to honor my loved ones who have brought me far more than my share of joy. My wife Marion, who is the light of my life. My in-laws Richard and Joan Scheuer, who are at once my second parents and closest friends. And my parents, who are here today, by good fortune, having arrived, travel with us to Israel on what has become an annual pilgrimage. I can see, and I'm relieved to see, that you people are no more reputable than we were when I graduated here. As I entered this place, I was strewn with all kinds of objects, dust, sheleg bakayit. I saw funny noses. I felt thoroughly at home. The only disturbing thing I've discovered is that among the graduating class this year is an individual who, as a ball player, has been drafted by the Portland Trail Blazers. To hear such news of a yeshiva boy caused me great concern. Mr. Kufeld, stay true to your school. My talk today is more a story than a lecture. During the summer of 1952, I was a young boy of 14, arriving in the United States from India. We Bombay schoolboys wore white shorts then, and white shirts with little school belts and ties, and with senselessly hot, long socks. We wore those outfits at Habonim and Maccabi meetings since I was a child, where I learned and sung about Weizmann, Herzl, Trumpeldor, and the Palmach. Today, I remember standing in that same outfit in 1952, wide-eyed with wonder and shock on Manhattan's West Side docks. Today my uniform has changed, yet I remain in my heart and mind the same young boy who came here some 28 years ago. Since then, I have faced many difficulties, not the least of which was getting out of this place. And I have been lucky. I have been lucky in love and in my work. But my feeling of who I am will forever be tied to the thought of that little boy facing this new world. Why do I cling to that memory? I think it is because through that image, I connect myself directly to my father and to my mother, and through them, on back through the generations. My father, David Sofer, was born in Rangoon, Burma. He left there as a boy of 6 for Calcutta. At 16, he went back to work in the Burma oil fields. At 25, he moved to Bombay after a magic moment when he saw my mother on a balcony. His father, Meyer Sofair, was born in Setmiu, Burma, toward the end of a family trek that began when Meyer's father and mother fled their home in Baghdad, Iraq. My own mother, Moselle Yehezkiel Sofer, was born in Bombay. Her father, Ephraim Yedidia, was born in Kirkuk, Iraq, and her mother, Lulu Smucha Mitana, was born in Alexandria, Egypt. They sailed to Bombay as children and went through the same experience that I went through when I came here as a boy. The flight of Jews to India began hundreds of years ago. It continued in spurts until the end of World War II and was a tribute to India's long tradition of religious tolerance. Since then, almost all the Jews have left. Why did these Jews leave? For the same reason, I suggest, that the Scheuers and the Greenbergs left Europe. First, India was swept in the 1940s by a wave of nationalism that divided that country. Jews are, as all people, citizens of nations in which they live, and nations are entitled to demand allegiance. But Jews always suffer when nationalism is in vogue. In those periods, nations demand that they be worshipped and that their political program be accepted as religion. But we have our faith, and we worship only our God. Along with nationalism came religious fanaticism. Hindus and Muslims who had lived together in relative peace for many years each found suddenly that the other deserved to die. The exodus came quickly when my parents and others realized that there was no future for young Jews in India. I am grateful for their decision, just as millions here in this nation who came from Europe are grateful for the decisions of their parents and of their grandparents. This nation's framers were very much a homogeneous group. They were white, they were wealthy, they were Christian. Yet these far-sighted men, recognizing the weakness of men, created a structure that set one principle above all, that no one group, no faction could control. Millions of us have benefited from that structure. We remember only too well how much suffering came to those who did not or could not come here, and all those over the many thousands of years who have suffered when fanaticism and nationalism have control. We will survive and thrive only to the extent the world is rational, tolerant, and accepts the sanctity of human life, liberty, and property. Our commitment to Jewish voices have always extolled these virtues. In recent years, I can tell you, I find myself disturbed by Jewish voices extolling virtues, extolling ideals, extolling nationalism to a point where I feel at a loss. Our commitment to Israel must be strong and never waver. I join the call, Am Yisrael Chai, and the pledge, never again. But we have survived this long, not by strength of arms, but through intelligence and faith. Let us not forget the dangers of ultranationalism, religious hegemony, excessive majority power, factionalism, and military government. Israel now faces enemies dedicated to its destruction, and emergency measures are imperative. But we are in danger that the over-aggressive and under-informed young Jews have substituted brawn for brain in their quest to impose upon our people their extremist views. The government of Israel rejects these fanatics. We too must abjure them, as we abjure the many other fanatics in power around the world today. Ours will be a clouded future if we become brutalized in our effort to survive. The brutal powers that have afflicted us throughout history have taken horrible tolls. But where are they now? No nation, no people is strong enough to fight its way to survival. Our strength is greater. It lies in our devotion to the principles of our faith and to the principles that history has taught us are the necessary ingredients for peace and brotherhood among men of different nations, different creeds, different races. These sets of principles have, of course, special meaning to me. They gave that young immigrant boy a chance to learn, work, pray, love, and live. They are providing in this nation the same opportunities for young boys and girls of every race and religion. My hope today is that they will gain your support and that they will take hold everywhere, for it is in these principles that we will find the soil in which to live. Thank you.
The benediction will be delivered by Rabbi Philip H. Singer, father of Karen Singer Averick, who has just been awarded a degree, Doctor of Philosophy from Furkauf Graduate School. Will the audience please rise? Rabbi Philip Singer.
Almighty God, we thank you for this beautiful, most glorious day. The sun is shining brightly upon us, but in service to thee. We sing, therefore, Maleim Ziv U'Mefikim Noga, Noe Zivom B'chol Olam, Smechim B'Tzeisom V'Sosim B'Horom, Osim B'Yemor Etzon Konom. Avinu Shebashamayim, look down from your heaven and see the radiance of the faces of the graduates. Behold the glistening of the eyes of the parents. Observe the gleaming glad smiles of the president, the faculties, and the officers of the Yeshiva University. And all this is in service of thee, to promulgate and to propagate Torah and knowledge throughout your world. We pray that you bestow your blessings upon us in abundance. Grant that we all go forward from these ceremonies, inspired to see end, purpose, and wisdom in everything, to know whence, whither, and wherefore. May we go forward uplifted with a soaring effort to satisfy an unappeased thirst for the highest and for the holiest, that our minds may have wings leading us into the sanctuary of truth, to gain greater wisdom and a glimpse of eternity, infinity, and a feeling of thy presence. In an era of intense flow of passion and a glowing lava stream of strife and terrorism, of despair, deep emptiness, doubt, and drudgery, grant us vivacity, spiritual energy, perspicacity, harboring dreamings and longings. grant us the heart to believe more than to hope. To believe more than to hope. Strengthen our belief and bring hope for all the world. Fulfill the words of thy prophet, for from Zion shall go forth Torah and the word of God from Jerusalem. Let us go forward singing with the psalmist, Ashrei smimei dorech ha'holchim b'soras Adonai. Happy and blessed are the wholesome on the way who walk in the law of the Lord. And let us all say, Amen.
And let us remain standing now for the Hatikvah, and please join in the singing. Mr. President, the commencement exercises have been concluded. The marshals and student representatives will now rejoin their groups for the recessional.
Will the audience kindly be seated for the recessional while the participants leave the commencement area? On behalf of the university, I would like to invite you to a special reception being held in Science Hall. The entrance is on Amsterdam Avenue, opposite 184th Street. You are all invited immediately following these exercises. I also wish to remind you that today the museum is open to all of our guests in honor of the graduation ceremonies. It is the last week of the Jewish Symbols exhibition, and everyone is invited as guests of the university. The museum is located in the Mendel Gottesman Central Library, which is on Amsterdam between 185th and 186th Streets. Board members and honorary degree recipients are now leaving the commencement area. administration and faculty are now leaving the commencement area. Graduates are now leaving the commencement area. Please use the nearest exit in departing. On behalf of Yeshiva University, I thank you for coming to join us today. Thank you. Shalom.